Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 267 of the Immigration Answer Show. I'm here with my good friend Julia. Julia just got back from Patagonia. She had a wonderful trip hiking around on the glaciers. I feel like I'm on a glacier. It's very cold here in St. Louis, probably not as cold as it is at the bottom of the world. But there you go. I am cold. I've been drinking soda all day and I'm cold and chilly, and that's just how it is. So glad you all are joining us. Thanks for coming. This will be our last show of the week. Our next show will be next Monday at 1 p.m. So let's make this hour count. Let's try to get as many people in as we can, answer as many questions as we can. Go ahead and let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what you're thinking about today on Thursday. Should be a good weekend. Should be warming up a little bit here in St. Louis. This is the first weekend in a while where we haven't had softball, so I'm just planning on chilling, watching the New York Jets, hopefully beating the Denver Broncos, and Imani and I are going to go see a play called Hadestown on Saturday, so we'll see how that goes. Let's go ahead and get started right away. Our first guest today will be Aldana. Hi, Aldana. How are you doing? You're on mute.
There we go.
How you doing?
Doing good. I'm glad to hear that Julia had a nice time in Patagonia. I'm from Argentina.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, shall I go with my question?
Go for it.
So, like I said, I'm from Argentina. I came in a J1 au pair visa, and I met my husband here. So now I'm applying for adjustment of status through the category C9. And my question is about my visa status, because my DS 2019, the last day of it was July 18th. And I just don't know what my current status is, because I've read somewhere online where it's like 180 days after, like, you have time to apply for everything. So I just don't know if my current status is J1 or out of status.
So first of all, with the J1, were you subject to Rule 212E, the return home requirement, or were you not subject to that?
No, I was not.
Okay. And so, so you married a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
And you have not yet filed for adjustment, is that right?
Yeah, not yet, because we got married just like kind of like right before my visa expired. But we've been together for a longer time though.
Right, but why haven't you filed? That was 3 months ago.
It's been crazy. Our apartment the lease was gone, so we had to find an apartment. Then with all the wedding craze, and then we moved into my in-laws. Now we're at a new apartment, and gathering all the paperwork from here was also crazy, because I left a lot of the stuff back home, so I had to do some of that paperwork online. So it's taking time.
So so you're talking about the question on the 45 that says, what's your current status?
Yes.
I would say adjustment of status applicant.
Okay. So not out of status, no J1. So I would just put that on. That's
what I would put. I mean, it doesn't really matter, because it's not going to, whatever you put in there isn't going to be determinative, and they're not going to say you tricked them or lied or anything. So if you put J1 or adjustment of status, either one's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I've read that somewhere, but I just wanted to make sure. So another question, all the extra paperwork that is not required, but is proof of your relationship, like pictures and all that, should you file everything with the I-130 and the I-485, or should I just wait until the interview for that?
No, you should file a full set of stuff now and then bring a bunch of new stuff to the interview.
Okay.
So both.
Awesome. Okay, great. So yeah, about that. And then I-131, it does say the advanced parole, the travel paperwork. I don't have a current date that I'm planning to go back home, but so I just don't know if I should just leave it blank or
just say unknown.
Okay. Great. So I'll type it, because it will not let me print it on the paperwork. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, let's say hi to Anna. Hi, Anna.
Oh, hi, Jim.
How are you doing?
Okay? Good, thank you. Thanks so much for doing the show. I discovered you this week. Honestly, I watched a lot of the episodes from the past. I'm happy to be here today.
Cool.
So my question is, so I applied for political asylum in 2016, and my, status is still asylum application pending. I don't have a date for the interview. And the issue is that my passport is expiring in March of 2023. So I'm in this situation where I don't really have, my green card approved, and I also have an expiring passport. So my question is, would it be okay for me to extend my passport, knowing that I applied for political asylum? Because I'm just scared I will have no documents at all.
I would advise you not to extend your passport. That's availing yourself of your home government's benefits. So I vote no on that. I mean,
Hmm.
but more importantly, I don't want you leaving the United States until you get your asylum case ruled on. So I don't know that you need
Hmm.
the passport since you shouldn't be leaving the United States.
Yeah, that's right. But even if I do get a green card, it will take a long time before I can travel anywhere, right? Because I will have no paper passport.
Well,
So it means that, right?
once you get asylum, you can apply for this thing called a refugee travel document. It looks like a
Hmm.
passport, and you could travel on that.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Okay, cool. And another question related to that is, do you advise absolutely against getting advanced parole in my situation?
Do
Um,
not leave. No, you shouldn't
yeah.
leave until your asylum case is over.
Okay. I was thinking that, there could be a situation when I could try to meet up with my family in some third country, not, the one I'm seeking asylum from, just because it's been 6 years since I
I
applied.
understand.
You know.
I don't think it's safe for anyone with a pending asylum claim to leave
Mhm.
the United States. Just because I think even with advanced parole, they might not let you back in.
The thing is also is I have a baby, and the baby was born here in the U.S. This year. So I was thinking, could this be a reason why, if I do get advanced parole, I should be let back in because my baby is a citizen by birth?
I mean, that's an argument, but what if they don't let you in?
So they can still deny even if the baby is a citizen.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's unlikely, but
Okay.
it's possible. It's one of these things that I talk about on the show a lot, which is a 1% chance of it happening, but a huge consequence if it does, right? So do you feel safe risking it on that 1% that you don't get back in? That's
Mm-hmm.
up to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. Yeah. Thanks so much for the information, Jim.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks for coming on. Good luck to Anna. Hopefully she wins her asylum case and gets on her path to a green card. Let's say hi to D. What's up, D?
Hi Jim. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good. So, I applied for adjustment of status. I was in February, and I was sent a request for evidence for a long birth certificate.
Yep.
Hello. Yes. So, my lawyer told me just to go to my country, send somebody from my country to send me a letter which says that my birth certificate was just delayed, and which I did, and I sent it, and they told me that they denied my case and told me that my evidence was insufficient. So I don't understand what they mean, like long birth certificate, because I sent in my birth certificate together with my package
Right. What country are you from?
from Zambia.
And did you look at the visa reciprocity table to see what's available?
No, actually, I'm in the USA. So
I understand, but
yes,
do you know what the visa reciprocity table is?
no, no,
Okay. And you said Zambia, right?
yes.
Okay, hold on a second. So all right, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so the State Department has gone through country by country from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe and figured
Mhm.
out what documents are available from every country, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
I'm on the Zambia page, and we're going to go down and look at birth certificates and see it tells you the name of the document, birth certificate. It
Mhm.
tells you the department that issues it.
Yes.
It says what it looks like, green, date stamp, unique serial number,
Yes. And yeah, which I had.
and the registrar general of
Yes.
birth.
And yes, and both my parents' name was on it. So I think I was thinking maybe because I got it in 2012, that was the reason why they said they wanted. Oh, maybe I don't understand.
Yeah, you probably should have gotten a new one.
Oh, so I just have to get a new one, a new birth certificate?
Well, who did you send to go get the one that you got?
No, I already got the one that I got. My dad, before he died in 2012, he got it for me. My dad did.
Yeah, but you said during this call, you said somebody went to check or somebody sent a letter saying it wasn't
No,
available.
yeah, yes, because they said that I need to go to my country. That's what the lawyer told me, to get like a letter which says that my birth certificate is real and it's in the records and everything is there, and which I did.
What
So
do you
my
mean?
sister went there.
What did you submit? What did you submit in response to the request for evidence?
Just a letter. That's what my lawyer told me. Just a letter. So
What did the letter say and who was it from?
it's from the Department of National Registration of Birth and birth certificate and death certificate. And it says that, oh, my birth certificate was just delayed, and in the
Was what?
records it shows it was
It was just,
delayed. Yeah,
what does
it
that
was
mean?
delayed.
What does that mean? Delayed.
It was delayed, like it was registered late.
Is a late registered birth.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And what year were you born in?
I was born in 1987.
And so there was no birth certificate issued at birth. And then it says a hospital record of birth or baptismal certificate, an affidavit must be prepared by a member of the applicant's family having knowledge of the birth. Did you get that affidavit?
No, because they said they couldn't give me a birth record, which I provided. Couldn't give me a birth record because I provided the birth records to them and they couldn't find a copy of it. That's what they say.
Right. But the thing that you submitted, was it an affidavit or just a letter? Was it sworn under oath
Hello?
or was it just, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, well.
Hello?
Can you hear me? D, can you hear me? Going once. Going
Hello?
twice. D, can you hear me? All righty. That'll be it for D. But if she gets on the recording, you've got to make sure that you get them what they want. They said they wanted an affidavit. You said they sent a letter. So that's probably not going to cut it, which is probably why the case got denied. It's an unfortunate denial because that case could have and should have been approved. Let's say hi to Ivan. Hi, Ivan.
Hello.
How
How
are
are
you?
you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
What's up?
All right. So I have a quick question. So my parents moved to the United States when I was 3 years old, and they moved with the visa waiver program. They overstayed their visa or their permission for 9 years. Then they moved to Spain. I never stayed. I stayed the whole time as a minor, so I never accrued unlawful presence.
Yep.
I married a U.S. citizen this year in June, and she filed for the I-130 for me. We're doing it through consular processing, obviously. And my question is, in the DS-260, in the question that is, have you overstayed a visa? Do I have to mark yes
Yeah.
and explain the situation? And will I
Yep.
have any problems?
Probably not.
Okay. And another question. My sister was born in the United States when my parents were there illegally. Can
Sure.
she, if she lives there, now she lives here in Spain, but imagine she moves to the United States. Could she sponsor them for a visa, for the green card, sorry?
When was the last time they were physically in the United States?
2005.
Yeah. So yeah, she can file I-130s for both of them. She's going to need to establish domicile or residence in the United States. So I'd have her come back, maybe go to school, get a lease or something, or get established in the United States, open a bank account, show that she lives here, and then file I-130s for them. But yeah, it should go along just fine.
And do they need any type of waiver for their unlawful presence?
No, because they would have done their 10 years, and that was still 8 years. They haven't been here for 18 years, so I think they're fine.
Yeah, and they had applied for a tourist visa like 2 or 3 years ago and got denied. I think they got denied because my father, for some reason, showed him his tax ID and things like that. I don't know. My father did a really bad interview, and he couldn't prove that he had no intention of not staying there again, and he got denied.
Well, so hold on. So that could be a problem. Did the topic of them coming on visa waiver and overstaying by 9 years come up during that visa interview?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
So then we have to make sure that Dad didn't lie. That Dad didn't.
Oh no, he told the truth. They told the truth.
So wait. So well, how do you know? You said it didn't come up.
No, he brought it up, and that's
Right.
why the officer there said, "Oh no, if you stayed before, I'm obviously not giving you a tourist visa again because you're going to stay."
Okay, good. All right, good. So then that's good. That would have been a problem for your sister's case for them, but that's good to know.
Okay, so I would have no problem in the DS-260 to put that I overstayed a visa.
Well, you got to tell the truth.
Okay, yeah, that was my, and in the I-130, I put all of the instances I traveled to the United. Oh, I have another question. When I was 18, I traveled back to the United States with the visa waiver program. I had no idea about anything, and I imagine in the visa waiver program, you have to say if you overstayed a visa, and I put no, and I got accepted and went through customs and got into the United States. Never had a problem. But now,
so here's what I think needs to happen. I mean, number one, I think you do have a problem, because that was just, if that was when you were 18, that was 6 years after you left, which means that you overstayed a visa and you didn't admit that when you went through visa waiver at the age of 18. So I think you might have a misrepresentation problem.
and even though I never, because that would be in the case if I had a bar of going in, a 10-year bar.
But my understanding of what you just said is that the question wasn't, have you ever had a 10-year bar, which
Yeah,
you didn't because you were minor. The question was, have you ever overstayed a visa?
I think I would have to check if that's one of the questions for the visa
So
waiver.
that's what I was going to say. For both, if I were you, before you get, well, you got the I-130s underway, but this is fine. You should do a Freedom of Information Act request for your State Department file and your USCIS file, because you want to know what you put on that DS-160. Because now they could deny you saying you lied, and that'd be a big problem.
And if okay, I'll do that. And should I tell the truth in the interview, in the consular interview?
Yeah, and I think the answer is, well, when I was 18, I didn't know the legal effects of overstaying because I was a minor the whole time. So I thought I could say no to that. That's all.
Yeah. That was actually what happened.
Yeah, but you might need some help down the road. The I-130 part should be easy, but then with the embassy part, you might need help because they might say you need a waiver. I don't think so, but they might.
What type of waiver would I need? The I-601?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for me.
Thanks, Ivan. See you, buddy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Have a good day. All right. Bye-bye. All right. That was Ivan. Hey, everybody. If you haven't yet already, let us know where you're watching from. We always like to know where everybody is in the world watching the Immigration Answer Show. It cheers us up to see all the places around the world, and we're always glad to hear from everybody. Let's say hi to Basiraman. Hi, Basiraman.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me on the show, and thank you for everything you're doing. Uh,
Of course.
I have 2 questions. The first one is about me. I married a U.S. Citizen. I had 2 interviews. The first one was not pretty good. I don't think we did too good in the first interview.
Where was it?
New York City.
Okay.
Yeah, but the second.
What happened at the first one?
The first one, I think we took the interview too lightly. We didn't like really prepare for it. My wife and we got married during COVID-19. So they asked my wife like to describe how we got married, and she kind of had some problem describing it because during COVID.
Why did your wife have trouble describing how she got married?
Because we got married in COVID, during COVID-19, we went to New Rochelle court to get our marriage license, and then we went to an officiant house in Brooklyn because all the courthouses in New York City were closed. So like
Well,
she explained,
can we back up for a minute? Have you ever been married before?
no,
When did you enter the United States so that you were here
uh,
in New York?
August 2014 on a student visa.
Okay, and when did you graduate from, or when did you finish school? When did they terminate your CVIS record?
I finished my bachelor degree in last year, September.
Okay, and then what's the date of your marriage?
We had our official marriage in September 11, 2020, and we had a religious wedding in April 1st and a big celebration in May 15, 2022.
And when did you file the I-130 and 45?
Around August of 2021.
Wait, was your marriage in September of 2020 or 2021?
2020.
Oh, so you were out of status when you applied for your green card.
I was not out of statute. I was on OPT.
Okay. Okay, on OPT. Okay, all right. So the first interview, you and your wife show up. Did they separate you at that first interview?
No, they did not.
Did you have a lawyer?
Yes, I did have a lawyer.
And how did the lawyer say you did? Did the lawyer say you did a good job, a bad job, or what?
I think like my impression of the interview was like the interview was not too good. The lawyer didn't say anything specific. He just said like within 4 months, if they don't say anything, like we'll sue them and have them give an answer. So
Okay, so then when was the first interview?
April 19 of 2022.
And then when was the second interview?
October 6th of 2022.
So like 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And what happened at that one?
The second one was pretty easy. Like we prepared a lot. When we gathered, they still didn't separate us. It was not a stoked interview because we brought a lot of documents and we brought album of all the weddings we did. So the officer was pretty cool. Good. She said like the case is acceptable to her. She doesn't know why they didn't accept us at the first interview. Uh, but I think her system was giving her some problem. I believe the officer filed like an e-document for us. She said like it was a new system, something like that. But our computer was giving her problem. But she said the case was acceptable, and we did it about like only 10 minutes, no question, like not a just basic question, not any complicated question. Just and we did travel together too, so we brought all of that. So she just let us go, and she said they're gonna make a decision within 120 days.
So
But
what's the
since
question for me?
like after the interview, if I check the case online, it doesn't even say that we took any interview. It just say like an interview was scheduled on September 9, but it doesn't say that we scheduled an interview. And
And
only the second.
did you sue them, or they scheduled a second interview on their own?
We sued them for them to schedule the second interview.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and in the second interview, I did not bring the lawyer. Didn't bring the lawyer with me. It was
Okay.
only the two of us.
Okay.
Yes.
So when did the lawsuit get filed?
I think it was probably like I'm not pretty sure when, but I think it was like 2 3 months ago. Because I went to go see the lawyer after 120 days that didn't make any update. I went to see the lawyer and I
Yeah.
asked him if
So
he can do something.
their interview should be, their decision should be coming pretty soon because their answer's due to the lawsuit pretty soon. So I think you'll find out pretty quickly. I don't think you need to worry about the online updates.
Okay. And I have another question. So sorry for taking too much time.
It's
I
fine.
have one of my friend, like he came on a student visa, but he after within 1 year, like he asked for asylum, and his case been pending since 7 years ago. Like
Mhm.
no update, nothing. They didn't call him, nothing. His case is just pending. And lately he got married to a U.S. citizen. and he's wondering like if because he heard like sometimes it's just better to file only the I-130 and wait for the I-130 to get approved before you can apply for the I-485. So the question is to know like if that's possible and if you would recommend that, or it's better to
This
just
is
file both of them.
he should file both. This isn't that kind of case. They should file both.
They should file both.
His case is still at the asylum office, not at the immigration court, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he should file
Yeah,
both.
because he didn't even do like the first interview. His case is just
No,
pending.
he should file both on the I-130 and the 45. Otherwise, it's going to cause him troubles down the line.
Okay.
The only time you file it separately is if the person's in deportation. Otherwise, you file it all together. Because otherwise, if he files it by itself, then they're going to send it to the National Visa Center for an embassy interview overseas. He's got to file the 45 with it.
Okay, no problem. I'll let him know. And for my case, do you think that if there is anything that I should be worried about? Because for the second interview, it was pretty like chill. The officer said the case is acceptable to her. We did pretty good.
Was it a different officer than the first time?
It was a different officer, yes.
Yeah, so the other officer probably left. I think you're fine. I wouldn't be worried.
All right, no problem. Thank you so much, Gene. I
Bye,
really
best
appreciate
friend.
it.
See you, man. Yep.
Bye.
All right. So we got Sheldon in the house as usual. Frisco's watching. Frisco, Texas, that is. Barbados. TM says hi, or TM says hi, TO from Maryland. Thanks for that. We got Mrs. Cameron watching from Florida. We got Ghana. Florida's not cold. I might be in Florida in December, so that'd be nice not to be cold. We got Sierra Leone. Nice. And we got Seattle. Nathan's in Seattle as usual. We got Baltimore, Finland. All right, Finland. Another one in Seattle, Turkey, Florida, Yonkers. Boy, oh boy, we got people all over today. Cameroon. We're getting a little following in Cameroon, I think. Ibrahim is watching in Philadelphia. Nice. Thank you, Ibrahim. We got BK from Minneapolis. And yes, Waihori. Yes, the Jets did beat the Packers. Jets are doing great. It's the best start they've had in a long time. I don't feel totally embarrassed wearing my Jets gear. Shahab's watching in Egypt. We got Denver, one of my favorite places. Philly. Wow. India. LA. Kurum's here. Hello, Kurum. And we got Montoya is asking about an immigration lawyer in Charlottesville. We have an office in DC. We handle cases in all 50 states, so we could definitely help. Yeah, my son's a sophomore at UVA, and we'll be up there next weekend for Parents Weekend, so that'll be fun. And then we have MD in North Dakota. We got Virginia. We got Orlando. So thanks, everybody, for letting us know. That just makes me happy to see everybody's name and where they're watching from. All right. And of course, we have Juli down in Argentina. Everyone say hi to Juli. She's watching over. We got Benny in Hong Kong. How about that? Let's say hi to AB. What's up, AB?
Hey, Jim. Thank you so much for having me. So I have a question about the lottery winners. Yeah. So when we applied for the green card lottery, there was a minor mistake on the birth date of our daughter. So I was, it's a concern more. Will that, if anything happens, deny our case or not?
No.
No, because we then when we got already the win, so we had to refill the papers again. So when we did, we corrected that. So it was just a concern. Yeah, thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you.
That was easy. Congrats on winning the lottery. What's your
Thank you.
What's
you so
your
much.
Do you know what your line number is? Like, are you early? Are you late? You know?
Yes, it's 2,380 or something. I don't remember, but it's in 2000. So I was even told that maybe on December, January, I will be called.
So what are you, Europe or Asia or what? Which region?
No, from Armenia, Jim.
Nice. All right. I think you're in good shape. Good luck. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's head to Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hey Jim, how are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good, thank you much. Thank you much. So this is sequel. Uh, was in there maybe a couple of weeks ago. So my mom petitioned me. She's a citizen. Me and my family. I have two daughters, 20 and 24. So that continues on. I-30. But my company offered me an L1 and L2 visa for me and my middle daughter and my wife. For my 24-year-old, they're telling me that they can get an F1 visa, so I don't leave her behind. But I'm wondering if that affects the I-130 that we have in process for my mom, or if she could somehow take advantage of that F1 once we're in the U.S.
For your mom, you said?
No, for my daughter. I mean, we have an I-130.
Right. Hold on. Just hold on, Alex. Okay.
Mhm.
So there's Alex, and then there's wife,
Wife,
and then there's 24-year-old daughter
and a 20-year-old.
and 20-year-old. So Alex L1, wife L2, 20-year-old L2.
Yeah.
And then
F1 for
What-
24.
right, but what I-130 are you talking about? Who is an I-130?
So my mom, who is a U.S. citizen, petitioned us, me and my family, 20 some years ago.
Yeah.
We have documentally approved the
I remember we talked about this. Yeah.
and are waiting for the interview since 2019.
So what would your daughter put on the F1 when it says, has anyone filed an immigrant visa application for you?
What would you would say? Yes.
Yeah. And I think if she says yes, then I don't think she gets the F1.
Got it.
I'm not saying not to file for the F1. I'm just saying that she's got to be honest because, obviously the I-130 is the gold standard. That's what she wants. Right. So I might just, I might in fact leave her behind for a little bit and try to get it all sorted out. But I mean, she can try the F1, but I don't think she's going to get it.
Got it. So the other option, I think, last time we spoke, we said maybe because we have so much time waiting now, it would be a good opportunity to sue them to see if we can speed these things up.
Yeah.
Be a better option to include everybody on the move.
Yeah, and I don't know. Did we talk last time? You're pretty confident that 24-year-old didn't age out, right?
Yeah, she's still in the webpage. She's still considered in that package.
Yeah, that I would sue them now, and then is your L1 like all done, or they're just proposing to do the L1?
No, they have the requested information from me and documentation, so the process is just starting.
Yeah, and how long has your priority date been current?
The documentarily approved. So I got approved on 2019. I submitted documentation. So since.
But I meant, what's your priority date? Do you know your priority date?
Yeah, May 2000.
May 2000 in Mexico, right?
Correct.
Okay, so unbelievably, they're still on March of 2000 for final action. So maybe a lawsuit. So they're on December 1st of 2001, which means you've probably been current for about a year and a half. I don't know that a lawsuit's going to work. And we're talking about Juarez.
Correct.
Yeah, those assholes, they do whatever they want. So I don't know that a lawsuit would help because I think we're probably still about a year away from a lawsuit being able to help. So you might go ahead and proceed with the L1.
Okay. Understood. Thank you
Thanks,
very much for your
Alex.
support. Have a good
See
day.
you, buddy. Good luck. You're getting close.
Yep. Thank you.
Bye, buddy. Alex, waiting a long time, waiting as long as my son Ismail's been alive. It's hard to believe 20 years. It's hard to believe that there's an agency handling applications from before 9/11. If you can believe that. Shit, back then it was INS. It wasn't even USCIS. There was no USCIS when Alex's mother applied for his I-130. That's sort of hard to believe. Let's see. When Mom applied, George Bush was president. That's pretty messed up, man. Wow. That was a long time ago. I saw that George Bush, I saw a picture of him on a show. We're watching the show called Dope Sick. Dope Sick. It's about the opioid epidemic and how this terrible drug company called Purdue Pharma basically got people in America addicted to OxyContin. It's something else. Michael Keaton's in it, and he's so good. It's very upsetting. But I saw George Bush's picture in it, and it reminded me how much I hated him and how I thought he was the worst president ever until we got, you know who, the big orange Cheeto. All right. Let's say hi to Jabbar. Hi, Jabbar. He's eating his breakfast. It's all good. You're on mute, Jabbar. You're on mute, buddy.
Hey, Jim. How you doing? Thank you for having me, Jim.
How's your
I'm
cereal?
sorry I was eating.
Is that cereal or oatmeal? What are you eating?
Biryani.
Oh, biryani. Oh, I like
Yeah.
biryani. Yeah.
Actually, I'm from Algeria, but I like biryani. So, yes, sir. It's big story. So I came here like in 2015. So I married with my ex-wife. She's a citizen. So she's American citizen actually. So
you came on a B1, B2?
B1, B2, yes, sir. And we filed for green card. So I-751. So they give me like.
Hold on. So did you come on? You got it? You got the 2-year green card, and then you filed for the 751.
Yes, sir. I got 2-year green card. They prove it for me. Yeah, like probably 3 months. They prove it for me. So they give me the green card. So from this time before it's expired, we filed for 751. Me and my ex, So
Yeah.
after that, we filed, and I stay probably 2 years with her. So it's something big happened me and my spouse. So anyway, they send me an interview before we separate, and they send me an interview in 2020. So look, from 2018 when expired my green card 2 years. So after that, they sent me for interview in 2020. I was separate, no divorce. Because
which field office
is in Atlanta.
Okay, so you're separated and you go to the interview, and what happens at the interview?
No, exactly. So I hired because they convicted me for text message stalking, and after that, it's big story. I need the time to talk to you everything about my stories. So anyway, they send me an interview, and I hire a lawyer, but that lawyer, he was an immigration lawyer, licensed. I think he worked with somebody else. So we go. I mean, he told me don't go to an interview until you exactly. So he told me don't go interview until you got your divorce. So I believe him. So I now go an interview after he do anything for me because I need extension. So I hired another lawyer. She said, "Why they told you that?" I said, "I don't know," because he wasn't an immigration lawyer, I guess. So this lawyer, like second lawyer, she filed for me like the same application with divorce, like 751, and they proved for me. They sent me extension for 18 months. So this is my father-in-law. So
that's okay.
Yeah, for 18 months. And
he wants some of that biryani and some milk. That's
yeah, exactly. So they sent me extension for 18 months. So before 18 months expire, I go ask the office in here because I moved to Wisconsin right now. I live in Kenosha, Wisconsin. So I go to Department Service, Immigration Services. So I told him I need to go see my dad. He was sick. He's really, really sick. They put a stamp in my passport. So I have a convicted, as you know, for stalking, like text message. I wasn't know the restraining order. I now have no idea before, you know. I wasn't I wasn't speak English very well. Is, you know, when you go criminal, like a superior court, you don't have a lawyer, you don't have anything, translator. So yeah. Anyway, so I'm still waiting for my green card 10 years. So you know, they send me paper when I'm missing my interview. They send me paper like they said the case is denied.
Wait, hold on. You're talking about the original jointly filed 751.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But
now, yeah. That before I filed like a 751, another 51 with divorce. So after that, when they send me paper is denied, and when I filed another application with the divorce, they prove it for me. When I go to the office in Wisconsin, they give me stamp. But she told me you have your case that denied. They still look out for this case, and you see, she writing down in my passport. They said like you need to go to judge hearing, but it's not scheduled yet. That's what she writing down in my passport. Exactly, it's confusing. But what I call my lawyer, she said, no, you don't need to go to the court or to the judge. You're still in normal process, normal time. But I think it's over outside process because they give me 18 months, you know, and it's over right now. They give me January 2020. I mean, January 21, you know. So now I'm over 18 months, you know.
So did you leave the United States or did you not leave?
Yeah, I leave. I go see my daddy twice.
No problem.
You know, I just risk. I go with my stamp in my country. So when I coming back in Chicago, they stopped me first time. She's asked me, and she asked me, "Do you arrested before?" I said, "Yeah, I'm arrested because I have a problem with my wife." And they just check it and they let me. They put in step what they call a parole.
Yeah, they paroled you in.
Mm-hmm. So, and second time, they don't ask me. They just take my passport and they hold me a little bit. They check and they let me go in.
Okay, so what the filing date on the second 751, the divorce 751? When did you file that case?
We filed the case in January 2020, I think. Or can you give me just a second? I'm looking for my paper.
Sure. All right. Well, we got a nice little tour here of Jabbar's kitchen. Let's see. There's some fiber choice there on the shelf. We've got the bag up. This looks like my mother-in-law's old apartment. I like seeing everything. This looks like a well-lived house. Nice
Sorry, Jim, man. I'm just excited to talking to you. So a lot of time I like your video, man, and you help a lot of people, man. So yeah, you see, I have received that is January 23rd, 2021. I mean, they received in December 21, 2020. So
December. So it's almost 2 years old. They've had it.
Exactly. So yes, sir.
Right, so a couple questions. One is, if they went and knocked on your ex-wife's door right now today, if they knocked on her door and they said, "Hey, tell us about Jabbar. Is he a bad guy? Is he someone that should get a green card, a 10-year green card, or should we try to kick him out?" What would she say?
Oh, she's bad guy. I'm sure she told them he's bad guy because you know what? I have one child with her. As my daughter, she's 5 years old, and she keep her from me for time. I have a bad experience with this woman because she have the same problem with her ex-boyfriend. So I was married her like regular. I was loving her. Everything's right. I have a child. My baby is Fatih. I give her my mama name, and she's 5. She keep her from me a long time, and I do court for visitation. So they give me visitation. You know,
So are they in Wisconsin or are they down in Georgia?
No, she down in Georgia, Tifton, Georgia, South Georgia. It's like something her parent. Sorry about that. Her parent a little bit like racist, you know.
Mhm.
And it's I'm victim from racist, sir.
Do you think that she wrote a bad letter about you to USCIS?
I don't know. I have no idea because she doing a restraining order for me, and I not have contact. So when I text her, I said I love you, I miss my daughter. She reported me in the police. That way they give me like 12 months probation. So I finished that in 2018. So after my daughter, she was sick. My friend, he called me. My friend and her friend, they called me. He said, your daughter, she's sick, I think. And she coming in my way in other city. So from Sylvester to Tefton is 20 miles. So I see my car. I drive my car. Before I see that car, I said, sure, my wife, she want to go to pediatric or hospital. That's what I told you, big story. So I wasn't following her. I just watching where she go, pediatric or doctor. So I called, ask about my daughter. Where they charge me for stalking. Yeah, and they give me, and for 4 years right now, they just review and they give me 11 months probation too. So it's I don't know how they treat people here, like immigrants, like normal or.
So I mean, you and your spouse had a kid together. So
Yes, sir.
that suggests. And how long were you married altogether?
3 years.
And who filed for divorce, you or her?
She filed for divorce because she cheated on me. She's trying to be sorry for her. I do anything for her, but because she told me, okay, if you're not sorry me for that, because she cheated, I kick you out. I said, you cannot kick me out because I have just you sponsor me in here to stay here with you. And what she did, she called the police. She told them I beat her. So they kicked me out. They put me in jail for 1 day, and they give her restraining order. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. She lied a lot. I have a big. They hurt me so much, Mr. Jim.
Since you filed the I-751 in 2020, have they asked you at all for any of your criminal records?
My lawyer, yeah, she asked me. I give him
Has immigration asked you for your criminal records?
No, they don't ask me, but because my lawyer, she filed for another 751.
Right, but did she include that stuff? Because they
Yes.
might be that she did. Okay, and so do you feel like she's gotten all of the records? Like, are there any records that are missing?
I don't know. I don't think so about that because when I asked an officer in Wisconsin, she said, immigration officer, she said, probably when you missing that day for interview. So, but
when you filed, yeah, I mean that's a sign that there's a problem. When you filed the 751, were you already living in Wisconsin or were you living still in Georgia?
No, living in Georgia.
The divorce one you filed.
Yeah, one divorce exactly in Georgia.
And then you updated your address for Kenosha?
I update my address in Kenosha, and I go there in Milwaukee. They give me stamp in my passport.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like expired in December 2022.
Yeah. So Bodo says, sorry, these things happen to you.
Yes, sir. It's a very, very stressful, like almost 7 years almost 5 years without my green card, just stamp in my passport, it's stressful.
So I think that
you see that, Mr. Jim? Sorry, I cut you. You see that's what she put in my passport.
Wait, don't put it on the camera. Don't put it on the camera.
Oh, okay.
I just don't want your A numbers on there and stuff. I don't want people to see your
okay. I'm not sorry.
That's okay. Here's the thing. I think I can get you a decision. I think if we sued them, you'd probably get an interview in Milwaukee in about 2 months. I don't know what the decision would be. I don't know. I mean, Andrew, one of our great attorneys, is up there. He could go to the interview with you, but I can get the case moving. I just don't know where it's going to end up.
So, Mr. Jim, I have another question. Sorry, but I have a lot of time. It's like big story, sir. So, what do you think? Because my lawyer, she said you don't need to go to judge hearing because your process is normal process. But as you know, I have like two misdemeanor right now. So they charge me for two misdemeanors, like probation.
But you've never gotten any paperwork from the immigration court, right?
No,
not. No, I think you're okay there. I mean, I can get you a decision. I don't know what it'll be though. That's the thing. And I'd have to look at the criminal stuff before we sued them.
Okay, so because I talked to the judge, I said, "Look, I'm innocent. He discharged me because I worry about my daughter." But I said, how this affects my immigration status? She said, I'm not judged for immigration, but she said a lot of time I heard about misdemeanor, they not hurt your status. That's what she
They
told me.
can't. They can.
Yeah,
They
she said
can.
may, but what
Right.
she said, yeah.
Yeah, so we'd have to look at everything. But yeah, if you want our help, just give us a call or shoot us an email. Okay,
All right,
Jabbar?
all right. Thank
buddy.
you, Mr. Jim. Thank you. Have a good day, and thank you so much for that.
All right. Enjoy
Thank you.
your
Bye-bye.
Barani. See you, man. All right. Let's say hi to SV. Hi, SV.
Hey Jim, thanks for the opportunity. So my sister is a U.S. citizen, and she filed for my green cards for my parents, like the I-30 and then the 485. Still in process both, and then later we applied for advance parole, and that got approved, and they had to make some do some surgery, and so they traveled to India now. And before they traveled, we applied for EAD. Now that EAD, they send us some biometrics. But even before that, they got the biometrics done before they had traveled to India. So now they're in India and they got that biometrics appointment. So, I mean, what are their options to reschedule? My sister tried calling USCIS. Looks like they asked my parents to call them and reschedule. Is that the only option, or do you have any?
Well, when are they coming back?
They are probably come back around February. So they left last month. So January, February is they're gonna come back.
That's a really long time. What when did they file for adjustment?
March of 2022.
And when they filed, they asked for advance parole.
No, we did.
When did-
We didn't file it together. We just asked it later.
Okay.
We
And
filed for
did
AP later.
when they filed for adjustment, did they get fingerprinted for that?
Yes, they got fingerprinted for that,
And then after they got fingerprinted, they applied for advance parole.
and that got approved without a new fingerprint.
Then what are you trying to reschedule now?
So after the advance parole, my dad wanted to go work, so we applied for EAD. So that's what the
Well, why didn't you do all this at the beginning? This is not the good way to do it.
Yeah, that's a miss on our side. We just did it later.
So now there's an EAD application out there and they're asking for fingerprints again.
Right.
How silly. That's really silly.
We were hoping they would reapply that, but looks like they asked for a new one.
So yeah, usually they would just say we can just reuse them.
Right.
When your parents come back in February, I mean the case is on hold until they come back.
Okay.
So when your parents come back, what I would do is I would go down to the biometrics.
Mm-hmm.
I'd bring my biometric stamp. Well, actually, one thing you could do is your sister in the town, or is your sister in India, or is she here?
She's here. She's here.
You might have her bring the biometrics notice, both the new one that he got for the EAD and the one that's stamped that says he did his biometrics, and say, hey, can you guys use this one? If not, then when they come back, I would try that again. And then if not, then I would go ahead and reschedule.
Oh, okay.
But nothing's happening while they're in India. The whole case is on hold.
Yeah. Okay, got it. But even if they end up for no show of this biometric appointment, right, that wouldn't harm the 485 application per se, right?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, the 45 is on file, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at most the EAD would get denied, but I don't
Got
think
it.
so. I don't think
Got
it
it.
will be.
Okay. All right, Jim. Thank you. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Bye, SV. See you, buddy.
Have a good goodbye.
All right. I think we got time for one or two more. Let's say hi to Saif. Hi, Saif.
Hi, how are you, Jim?
Good, buddy.
Hi, how are you doing? So I have like a couple of questions. So first of all, let me just explain to you like what is the story. So I did like a petition, I-130 for my parents, like in October 2019. They got transferred like to the NBC and got the case number, which is on July 2020. They got documentary qualified on February 2021. The interview that they did, like it is like on October 6th, 2022. Okay.
Where was it?
It was like in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
Yeah, because like the embassy in Iraq, it's already being closed. So
Yeah.
they transfer them like to Abu Dhabi. Okay, so they did the interview they did the fingerprint, they took all the papers, everything like from them. And at the last stage, like when they were going like through the document, they were asking like, "What's your name? Like, where do you live? What do you do?" And they took the passport. And suddenly, like my dad, he was telling them like so we used to have like a residency like in another country, which is in Denmark, back before like 41 years ago.
41 years ago?
41, which is
Okay.
like 1981.
Yeah.
So in that case, so they told them, okay, so in this case, like you guys need to bring like a police certificate from Denmark, check with the embassy. So I already checked with the embassy like here in Washington, but I didn't get like any response. So just I wrote down like a statement, like this is my name and this is my signature. I didn't do anything bad. It's hard to get like information from the embassy. Just I uploaded like in CEAC. And after that, I got like an email from the embassy, and they said, "Okay, thank you for uploading. And your dad can send his passport to issuing the visa for him, but your mom, she need to fill out like the DS 5535."
Right. How
That
just for the record, how old is your mother?
she is 1956.
So 44 plus
Yeah,
22, so she's 66. Okay.
yeah. Actually, like before we submit like the police certificate from Denmark, they were asking like we need to fill out like this application. I mean the application, the DS. So just I already filled out and just send it to them.
Yeah.
And after that, they said, "Oh, this is like so like as I said, like your dad can send like his passport, so we can issue the visa for him. But your mom, it's still an administrative processing, which is so I don't know like. So do you think so? Like, do we have to wait and then we can sue them? And just an FYI, so I applied for her like for visitor visa like back in 2018.
Just her, not dad?
No, just her. Only her.
Okay.
And she did the interview in Iraq because the embassy was opened and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
So they told her like you're approved. So we're gonna have like your passport. They took the passport and after like one day, I believe so, on the second day, they sent me like an email. They were saying like we need like this information from you, which is like what's your brother's name, what's your son's name, like where did you live. It's kind of like the same questions that they did right now. It's kind of the same questions. On like the process, it took like almost like a year without anything, just administrating and processing. And then I just sent them an email. I just canceled the process. I told them like just give us like the passport because I need to apply for immigrant visa. But right now, like it looks like it's same thing. It's going on the same thing. So
yeah, so there's something in her file that's triggering them. It's stupid and BS. I mean, what's a 66-year-old woman from Iraq? I mean, come
yeah.
on. So what's the question for me?
So the question is like, do we have to wait and then we can sue them? Like because they did like the interview, as I said, like before 2 weeks ago. Or can we do that now?
You could sue them now. I might give them till the end of the year, but you can sue them now. Yep.
Yeah, actually, to be honest with you, I just talked to Juan, I believe so, yesterday.
Yeah.
Juan, yeah. And he told me like you can sue them, but then like he said like I will go ahead and check with the attorney, and the attorney told him like we can wait like till the end of November.
Yeah. Whenever, the point is the State Department's had the case for a really long time, right? Like when did they start processing at the State Department?
The state, you mean like when did we apply at the beginning?
No, like when did USCIS approve the I-130?
The I-130, I believe so, was like 2020, because like we got transferred like to the NBC back in July 2020.
Yeah, so they've
So it
had
should be before.
Yeah,
Should
so
be
that's
before,
2 years. Yeah, you could sue them now.
I mean, or maybe like we can wait, like give them like a couple months. Do you think so?
Yeah,
Like it's better
I'd probably, just to save money, I'd probably wait till the end of the year.
end of the year. Okay, maybe like in December. Mid of
Mhm.
December. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
December would be good because then you get a case number of 2022, and that way when it's 2023, it looks like it's been pending longer. So yeah, I think December is a good month.
December is a good month. Yeah, because it's weird. Like at the beginning, like they took their passport and they were trying like to give them like the stamp. But when my
Well,
dad was
that's what they say. Whether they were or not, I don't know.
yeah, because suddenly like my dad was saying like we have like in Denmark, Denmark like residency. Just they gave them like the passport. They didn't do anything, but it looks like the same thing that what they did like with her like back in 2018.
Yep, sounds
So
like it.
yeah, so long short story, like we have to wait like till December, and then I can contact you.
You don't have to wait, but I mean,
It's better.
5,000 is a lot of money. It might get moving on its own. It's only been 2 weeks, so
Yeah, so it's better like to give them like at least like 2 months and a half.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So you
All
prefer
right.
like to do it like on December?
It's your call, man. I don't prefer anything. I prefer to get paid. I prefer to file the lawsuit, but I'm just trying to save you some bread.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like in your opinion, like it's better now or
Yeah.
on December?
No, I'd give it. Well, better. See, you keep asking me. Better is a relative term. You know, I mean, if I filed the lawsuit tomorrow and it got approved next week, then you'd be bummed out that you paid the money for the lawsuit. But if we get to December and nothing's happened, then you're going to be like, man, I wish I just hired Jim back in October. So it's up to you.
I didn't get that. So what you mean, like if it's like if we're gonna do it like now on everything, it's get approved by and you're gonna get paid on. So what is the difference?
Once I file the lawsuit, then I get credit for the case being approved, right?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, you said what's better, and better is a relative term. If nothing happens between now and December, then you're going to say, oh man, it would have been better if I filed the lawsuit in October. But if it doesn't, and then you're going to be like, oh, maybe I could have waited, and it still would have
Yeah. So it's hard to decide.
Yeah, but that's why I just lay it all out there for you and let you to decide instead of me deciding. Sometimes people want me to decide, and I can't.
I mean, like the thing, like the reason that I'm saying, like, if we need to wait because, like, maybe because they did the interview like just before, like 2 weeks
just
ago.
2 weeks ago. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. All right, Saif, I'm gonna go, buddy. I gotta go.
All right.
See
Thank
you,
you, sir.
All right, that'll do it for today's show. If you could join us on Monday at 1:00 Central, that'll be the next show. But if you could, leave us a review. We haven't gotten many reviews lately. We're always happy to get more reviews. Just go to reviewhackinglaw.com, reviewhackinglaw.com. Please leave us a 5-star review if you found anything valuable in what I shared here today. If you enjoyed the show, please go ahead and leave us a quick 5-star review. Maybe say a nice thing about Huli, how great she is, and how awesome she is, and how grateful you are for the show. Something short and sweet, shouldn't take more than 60 seconds. Otherwise, we'll see you on Monday at 1 p.m. for episode 268 of the Immigration Answer Show. If you want to get on our text list, text the word SHOW, SHOW, to 314-470-3300. Thank you, Huli. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Thanks especially to our friend Jabbar, who was the call of the day. I'm officially naming Jabbar the call of the day. Later, everybody.